Well, hello everybody and welcome back. Welcome to the latest video. And as promised, this probably a good month ago, I said I was going to review the 20th anniversary of the Norah Jones record. And so here about 2 weeks ago, maybe even up to, it's been at least a good couple of weeks now, probably 3 weeks, I was listening to the record for like the last time. I had made up my mind. I knew what I wanted to talk about, but I said I want to listen to it one more time just to get it fresh, a fresh listen before I make the video. And I noticed one of my speakers stopped working. So can't really, do a review of a record when you can't listen to anything properly, right? So now that I bought some new speakers, I can do the review. I've listened to it again now today, a couple, 4, 5, 6 times, different things, and to get a new appreciation for what's going on the record. And I just made a kind of a system update video. It just went up before this. Actually, these records are sitting on the table because I just finished, listening to these records, made the video. That's up on the on YouTube, so you can go have a visit with that video if you haven't seen that one yet. Because I've noticed there's other people, they're doing comparison videos and they've got a little list, in their description about this is the kind of equipment that they're using. And I do have people from time to time, not very many, but once in a while they'll say, "Hey Ron, what's your system? What are you listening to?" So I also, as longtime subscribers like a lot of you folks are, you have watched, I've got about, I think 2 or 3 recent room tour videos, like when I did the remodel about the room and I put different acoustic treatments and I did a video about that. And when I change things, usually you make a video. So I've got new speakers now, so I got an updated video on that. Let's get down to the Norah Jones. This is the Norah Jones Come Away With Me. This particular one is the new 20th anniversary edition. And I think it's around $25 in that neighborhood. I think I paid for it. And I was really excited to get it. I did listen to, there's 2 other channels that I watched. They did a review of the record and they both said it was very good. Now, I've been trying to decide if I should call the guys out for their review. I think I just want to mention the fact that there's been 2 people that reviewed this record that are in the vinyl community, let's say. And 2 of them are self-proclaimed audiophiles, let's put it that way. They both said this record is fantastic. Everybody needs to get it. It'll blow you away how great it sounds. I think one of the gentlemen, he had to compare it. He just had the original Blue Note. Now the other gentleman, he has the I wrote it down, the 2016 quality record pressing Kevin Gray remaster. And he compared it to this record. Now that Kevin Gray record, that's a $75 record over at Acoustic Sounds. This one's like a $25 record. He said they both sound fantastic. They sound a little bit different. Can't really tell you what the difference is, but he said this one just as good. The bottom line, this one is just as good as the quality record pressing, the $70 record over there at Acoustic Sounds. The only other record I know that Chad's selling for $75, that's a 2LP 45 RPM, is T for the Tillerman. Because it's such a standout record. It sounds so good, he knows he can get $75 for that record because it's so superior. So I would assume that Kevin Gray record is, again, one of those super standout high fidelity records. Okay, so what did I compare it to, right? What have I got? I have this one. This is the 02, because the original record came out in 02. Classic Records got it. Bernie Grumman got a hold of it. Michael Hobson got the record. They got the tape, and they got Bernie to remaster it in 2002. And this was this one here now. Let's pull it out of the plastic. This cover is Classic Records, so this is a bigger, thicker gatefold cover. Still looks just as good. It's got a 200-gram record on the inside. Done in 02, and now when I put the 20th anniversary on and I listened to it, and I'm listening. Now I've already listened to it before, and so I kind of already know. But today, and I'm saying, it is a really good sounding record. It sounds like a really good original pressing that's got some high fidelity to it. Does it sound like an audiophile record? No, it doesn't. This Classic Records edition is so superior to that 20th anniversary. This has got all your harmonics, all the decays, all the stuff that makes stuff sound real. It's all on here. And it's not on the 20th anniversary edition. Does that mean the 20th anniversary doesn't sound good? No, it does sound good. They're not wrong. But compared to this, it's not even in the same postal code, right? I was thinking about this earlier because this Norah Jones record, right? If you don't know who I am, I'm Ron Beaudry, Rockin' Ronnie, right? That's kind of my handle. This is not what you call rock and roll music right here. It's kind of a jazz female vocal singer-songwriter. But the record, this Classic Records edition here, it sounds so good. It gives you goosebumps. The hairs on your arms are standing up. On the back, it's one of those kind of records that sounds so good. This record is so special that when she's singing, it's like holographic. It's like she's in the room with you. And the guitar, the strings, they have all that acoustic, all that energy, all the harmonic structure and all the strings, and the piano is very important to have, and you're hearing all the harmonics off of it. Those are the things that make the recording sound real. And this record has all that stuff. The other one doesn't have it. But it still sounds good. Like I say, when original pressings, they sound good. But they don't have that audiophile quality like Bernie can get, because he's got the people at Classic Records now, Ryan K. Smith or Kevin Gray, they're audiophiles. They're trying to give you the best that they can give you. The record companies are trying to make records they can sell, and they sell them all. And so they're not really concerned of trying to make it the best they can be. But that was something that Michael Hobson started when he did Classic Records. He was an audiophile trying to give folks audiophile records because the big record companies aren't concerned with doing that. Rhino a little bit, which is part of Atlantic, WEA, Atlantic, and Warner Brother, right? They do a little bit, one little bit here, one little bit there. And I'm so happy Chad's doing the Atlantic, the 75th anniversary. I think I'm going to make a little video about that coming up. It's not going to be part of this video. I want to concentrate on this Norah Jones video. Just like the record system, what I'm currently using, I was going to do it part of this video. But then the title gets so long. And like some of the videos like I used to do back in the day, I'd say I'm going to do a review of the Steely Dan record, or I'm going to do a review of Doobie Brothers. Then I do a deep dive into, Kevin Gray and what he's doing, and I do a deep dive into something else. And it wasn't part of the title, and all that great stuff gets kind of buried, and it's hard to find it. So I think from now on, I'm just going to do one topic at a time. Videos are long enough for the hour. I don't need to make half-hour videos, right? So the Classic Records is so much better. So I wanted to talk a little bit about something else rather than just try to guess at it. I was trying to figure out how good is that Kevin Gray reissue that the other audiophile guy said the 20th anniversary was just as good as their record. we can go back to this stuff that I just did a review of, right? I reviewed the OG. Fantastic sound on it. Then I reviewed the Quality Records pressing, right? This is the 09. This is the 09 reissue. And it sounded so much better. Kind of the same thing that's going on with the Norah Jones record. I'm hearing all the harmonics. I'm hearing all the audiophile stuff now on this record, which I didn't hear on the other one. Even though it does sound really good, and that's why I used to listen to it, because it had good sound on it. And then a lot of the subscribers started saying, Ron, what about the Quality Records press? The 2LP at 45 RPM. We want you to review that record. How's that one sound? Right? So I went and I bought it. And I wanted to see, I wanted to do another shootout, the classic record from 09 versus the analog production that was done in 2016 by Ryan K. Smith. And my goodness gracious, this one was so much better than the classic records edition. It was really hard to believe, because I love that classic record so much. It was really hard to believe how much better this did sound. It was really, if you watch the video, it's pretty good. I described what I did. I jumped out of my chair and all kinds of stuff when I first heard this record. How exciting it was to listen to. So we've got the original pressing, right? I mean, this is the 20th anniversary. Then we go to the classic, and then we've got the Kevin Gray, kind of the same progression. So I'm thinking that the Kevin Gray is probably a lot better than the classic records edition. That's been my experience. So I don't know how somebody can say that this 20th anniversary sounds just as good as that Kevin Gray. In my experience, that Kevin Gray is going to be the best of the bunch. Chad's getting $75 for those records for a reason, because they're fantastic. Now, here's the other problem. The classic records edition from 09, or what is it, 02, they're really pricey. I didn't look at eBay too much, but I know they're probably all going to be over $100, right? Classic records, stuff from that time. And this being so good. So if you got that, and I know a lot of folks do, they've got the 02 Classic Records Bernie Grumman edition like this. It's fantastic. Don't worry about that 20th anniversary. If you don't know about this record, of course, go on YouTube, have a listen to it. How does it sound? I mean, what do you think of the music? Is it something you really like? Well, but you don't want to spend $75. That's not your cup of tea. Yeah, get the 20th anniversary record. It sounds really nice. It does. Like I said, those guys aren't wrong. It's a good sounding record. Is it a hi-fi record? No. It doesn't give you all the harmonics and all the details and the bottom, the register of the pianos and all that fun stuff that I love. But it does a lot of stuff really, really well. For the money, you can't go wrong. I think that was one of the points those fellas were trying to make. For the $25, you can't go wrong. They love the record, and they're really in love with it. I'm in love with the sound of the record more than I even am, but I've got to learn to like the record. And it was funny. I had mentioned this earlier, that when I got the new speakers, my son and I, we set them up. And he's going, Dad, put one of those audiophile records on. And of course, I had these in the heavy rotation because I was doing the review. So I took the Classic Records edition, I put it on, and we played a couple of songs. And he's like, Dad, that's horrible. Can't you put something good on? Of course, he wants to go put Pink Floyd on and all that. That's what he's into. That's what he wants to listen to. And that's sort of, my kind of first impression too. This isn't really my kind of music, but I grew to love the stuff because it's so beautiful. It's like, it's a 3D record. Really, really good. The Classic Records is really good. And I can tell you, I can guarantee that that Quality Records edition that he's got over there for $75 is going to blow your socks off. But, and I'm going to make another video here shortly too about Chad's 75th anniversary and all those records he's putting out. 75 records, maybe up to 90. I think Atlantic has said in their information that they're talking about they could even put up to 90 records out. But at this point, it's like 75 records. They're all 2 LP at 45 RPM with the Stoughton jackets. It's going to be Bernie Grumman, Ryan K. Smith, or Kevin Gray remastering, basically. And they're all going to be either made at QRP or RTI. They're all going to be fantastic. And I want to talk a little bit more about that, what I think they're going to sound like on an upcoming video. So thanks again to all my subscribers. I value every one of you for tuning in and watching the video. And I want to thank you all for, if you're a first timer, thanks for subscribing. And thanks everybody for liking the video. So important to do that. And bye for now.